Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Ask TJ About Marketing. I'm your host, Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online. Here today to help you with those basic marketing questions that you may have had and never gotten the answer, or you found that there's just so much confusing information online, and who wants to wade through all of that information and try to find the right answer to your questions? Well, this is the place where you're going to get your questions answered about marketing. So I hope you're ready for today's question. And today's question is,
This is some really good tips that we're finding here, because you have life after TikTok. You can,
yes,
there's different ways to do your business. You got a lot of different platforms, and you just, again, find the one that works for you. Carlos said LinkedIn is his platform of choice, but he's still on Facebook, and he's still on Instagram, and he's still on other places.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So see, this is the deal. You don't have to be on all the platforms, just the ones that make sense. I always say Facebook. I always say Facebook is still here. It's still going. Right. Facebook, Instagram, if that's your, if you want that demographic, but you don't have to. LinkedIn, B2B. But don't think strictly industry. I just gave you an example with Sound Bath Meditation. She could go over there, make a post or make several posts or talk about what she does and how it helps a person, a group, a business. All she had to do is talk about it. And it's not about buy my course. That's not how you do it. You talk about what it is you offer. So the value, the bullet is also messaging, and the messaging goes everywhere.
Right.
Even face to face, in real life, word of mouth. How about that? And you're not tied to TikTok, and you don't have to panic and go, oh, they can't ban TikTok in Montana because my business needs it. Really? So I made some notes. How are you adding value? How you add value is no matter what platform you are using. That's to get the attention and reach our potential customers. Your messaging, what you say. And we always say, think about dating. What is it you say to get the first date and get the second date and get the third date? That's what we're doing here. It's all messaging. It's messaging. What you say, does it connect? Yes, it connects. Well, we're going to have another date, or we're going to talk about this, or we're going to talk about where we're going, or we're going to text until the next day. You see how those things work?
Right. You start out with a coffee. Can we get a coffee? Not.
Can I get a coffee? Can we get a coffee? Not let's get married right now. So your messaging, it needs it. And here's the key to your messaging. It needs to connect with people or that person or that group, and they need to say, hey, you get me, you see me, that's what I need, oh my God, thank you. That's what the messaging is, the connect. Just like I said with the dating, it's like you connect. Even when you find, how do you find a friend, your best friend? How do you connect?
You either gonna send them a text message now. Before, you would have probably saw them at school or something, and then
But there's something that connect. There's a connection.
There is that something that you both are interested in.
you're interested in, there's a connection. Or here's the other thing. I thought about this. My best friend is the opposite of me.
Right.
You would think, oh, but she's the opposite. No, we're similar in some ways, but she does opposite. She does things differently from me. And it's like it's like the what is the yin and the yang with the two pieces that fit? They're different, but they fit. That's what it is. So you want to think about friends. How do you make friends? You connect. How do you keep a friend?
And your friends have traits that you sometimes wish you had, and they have traits, or you have traits that they wish, that they would, and you compliment one another.
Right. So this is real simple. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. There's no need to
panic.
Get upset and henny penny the sky's falling. It's not. This is the best time to build your brand.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Why
doesn't it matter?
We've always talked about pivot around here. You got to get good on the pivot.
They're like, well, if TikTok goes down, here's Lemon8. If Lemon8 goes down, they are coming with it, fast and furious.
But then you have to now wonder, why are they trying so hard to keep some type of app on our phones? Because they were doing this all along when they were talking about, oh no, we weren't doing it. Okay, so now TJ, here we go. If they are so bent on getting into our social media feed, what does that say about you as a business owner? You need to be that intent about learning your customer and learning the way the customer moves, and
what's the oxygen of your business? What keeps it alive? What keeps it growing? What's the oxygen? Attention and new customers, and your existing customers being invested in you also. You can't forget about them. Once you get the customer, don't just go, okay, well, you can sit over there on the sideline, I'm going to ignore you because I already got you. That's not how it works. Again, dating. How do you keep it going? Because you could break up, it could drop off. It's work.
They're putting a lot of work in to wanting for us to stay under their radar.
Right. And that's why I said, why are they throwing all these apps at us? Why? Think about why. And I know a lot of people do surface things, and I'm always looked under the hood of stuff, tinkered with stuff. Why does that work this way? What makes people think? What makes people buy? It's human behavior, psychological. And this thing about China is not new. This is going before the Cold War, before going back to all of that stuff. They just keep coming at us, and the other one too, Russia too. They keep coming at us, trying to, okay, we're gonna come at you that way. We're gonna come around the back. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do. It's like a constant battle of, because that's just a why. Why do they want us so bad? Why do they want to know what Americans think so bad?
There's a reason. They're not just doing it because they could be doing something else.
But I digress. But it's just amazing to me the things that have gone on. Like we've had the Cold War, and we got out of the Cold War, and then we had remember East Germany, West Germany, all of those things. It's like we're coming back, circling back. And it's like, why? And
why were they interested in some people's emails? Because they're still trying to get in, because social media wasn't that prevalent at that time.
Trying to get in. That's it. These countries are trying to get in. They're trying to make another currency to take down the US dollar. Why? It's like, being Megan Thee Stallion or somebody like that. It's like all the guys are trying to get it. Why?
Why are you doing this?
Why? And they're gonna keep coming. This is not the end. So TikTok is not the end. They'll come up with something else. But this goes back. I even remembered. This goes back to Greek times with Trojan horse. Why? They tried to get that horse in there. It was like full of soldiers.
Yeah. Yep. They were like, and remember that commercial? They just did a commercial about the Trojan horse,
Yes.
and they had the security manager person said, I don't think you should let them in.
Yeah,
Let me check it
yeah,
out.
that didn't look right. Yeah, they can't come in. Something about that not right.
Yeah, don't let them in.
But that's why it is. It's because America is full of innovation. There's a lot of and I'm not even talking technology. It's just the way that we behave and act in this country, that so many things flourish out of that, and they're trying to understand why. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but they want is America's the hot girl.
Mm.
Everybody wants to figure out
What makes the hot
so
girl
this
tick.
will continue. But you're going to stick with messaging, which is tried and true. Work on your messaging. Make sure you got an email list. Make sure you use that. That is your landline, your telephone in case of a storm and your cell phone doesn't work. You pick that phone up and you hear the dial tone. You're in business. So messaging, providing value through whatever conduit, whatever thing you want to use, and making that connection.
This is good. And see, this is a reminder. When you talk about messaging, it doesn't mean have a message and you just sit on the message.
No. I don't mean that. We're gonna, and see, I say messaging. We're gonna talk more about it. Actually, we've talked about it a couple of times before.
Right.
But messaging is, because I'm always thinking about the ways of how do we reach an audience now? Because remember, before ChatGPT, it was like, oh, your content. Well, now everybody can make great content because they got that tool. So now, how do we stand out?
Are you making content? Are you talking to your email list every week? I didn't say every day. Don't be like a store that I know. Are you talking to them every week? Are you giving them something of value? And Terry and I call it EIEIO because we learned it from you. Education, information, entertainment,
yeah.
And then the offer.
Right.
EIEIO. Come on. What are you? Are they getting something from you? It's springtime,
and it's not hard. It's not hard.
How do you pair them jeans with some yellow tennis shoes? Something, we should be getting an email, and people want to hear from you if they signed up on your email list.
And I know this sounds like a lot of work, but if you make a system, and I always say, when you build a house, you have a blueprint. Do you build the house every time you enter it? No, you build the house once. You might redecorate and, it's spring, let me clean, or it's fall, let's put up some decorations, but you're not building the house every time you go into it. So that's what I'm saying. You have a system, a plan that you sit down and make once, and then you look at it seasonally, and we talk about it. Like when spring comes, we talk about it in summer and fall. Seasonally, what do I need to fine tune and tinker with? What has changed? Because people like to talk about the Instagram algorithm. That's changed. We need to talk about that, because a lot of talk about ChatGPT and GPT-4. I'm going to do a little mini.
And if you
need help with that, let me know. Just reach out any social media platform you want. Terry Johnson Online. I'm there. And I'm trying to get in your Discord, and I'll give you a little something. I might do a little walkthrough, like a little video walkthrough. I don't know. We'll see. But that's where it's going to be.
These are little nuggets right here. But if you want in-depth help, you need to go see TerryJohnsonOnline.com. /info. Go find her and get with her to get what you need done, because your business deserves top-notch help, and that's what you're going to get.
I'm building the banquet. We might have that banquet is coming. I'm still working on what the dishes are going to be.
But it's coming. So please.
Yeah, so there's so many things happening. There's AI. I didn't see ChatGPT coming. I mean, I knew about AI. I didn't see ChatGPT coming. That just boom. That November 2022. That just hit us in the head, and it just in 30 days it got 100 million users.
Right.
100 million. I'm not sure the number today. I have to look at it, but that is like the fastest growing platform that people are using. So,
and I think it's a really viable tool, and you need to know how to use it. So see, that is why you need to be checking TJ out, because she's going to keep you on the cutting edge of the AI technology for your business.
Follow me on Instagram. That's where the stories are happening. The little AI stories are happening now. I'm still, like I said, I'm still tinkering with what I'm doing, but there's information to be had.
So you need to get with Coach TJ. Again, when you are here, what we are telling you is everybody needs a coach, a cheerleader, and a community. You get all three here at BizChicks. We got Coach TJ talking to us about marketing, and you got a safe place to learn and ask questions. You don't have to be bewildered, and you don't have to be confused, and you don't have to feel insecure about asking questions about AI or marketing or social media, because TJ is happy to help you take the hassle out of your social media hustle.
And I'm in your corner. Don't forget that. I'll always be in your corner.
Right. And you know, she's going to give you really good information, unlike some of the stuff that I saw on YouTube this weekend. I was just like, really?
You saw where? Where did you see?
On YouTube this weekend. I was looking at, you know, productivity.
Right.
And like they trying to just gloss over stuff, and it was
because they want you to get in their either they want you in the YouTube membership or their membership that's off site. And I'm glad you brought that up real quick. That's not the way to do it either. That's not the way. You don't tease. Well, you know, I got the answer, but you got to come over here and pay $5.99, whatever, $9.99, $99, $7.97. That's not the way to do it. If you're going to be on social media, give out valuable, helpful advice.
Yes. Because
that's going to help somebody to connect with you. You're relatable. Hey, that person knows what they're talking about. And they keep coming to consume your content. And then they go, oh, they have a course. They have a this. They have a this. They have a that. They look at the menu. When you go to the restaurant, do they bombard you? Hit you? No, they say, you know, hi, how can I help you? Here's the menu. I'll be back when you're ready to order.
Right.
Don't hit them over the head with the sale. Now, this is another thing. If you've got products, you know, you're running a sale, you can, you know, that's different. You're saying I'm doing a sale. That's different.
Right. And then you can have, most of the time you get free samples. I call it the Costco method. Look, the cheese on a cracker, and you'd be like, oh, I got to go buy this cheese.
Exactly. That's how they make sales of chicken sausage or cheese or this or whatever the vendor is. That's how they do it. They don't just put it on the shelf or in the rack or whatever and say, well, I guess they'll find it. No. Give out samples.
Yes.
Full samples.
Yes.
Don't give out the little, well, here's a little something, but you know, if you want the rest, you gotta pay $97 a month. No thanks. I'll just move on. So that, you know, that's something to think about. But you know, this is what I wanted to talk to you about, because this has been weighing on my mind since we talked about it on Friday. This lady in TikTok, and I was like, no, just no. So I hope today's discussion helped you with the answer to your question, and you found all the information that you need to know about this particular topic. Now, if you didn't get the answer, or you need some more clarification, or you just need a little bit more information, that's okay. Reach out to me at terryjohnsononline.com, or find me on your favorite platform, Terry Johnson Online. Now, if you search Terry Johnson Online, you're going to find me. You're going to find my profile, and then you can reach out to me, leave a question, leave a DM, ask a question. I'm here to help you find the answer that you need. So that's it for this week and today's question. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Yeah.